Hi, everyone. My name is Kate. I am just recording this opportunity call today. I'm going to be sharing my journey so far with Monat and my partnership with them, and a little bit about my background and a little bit about how I got to where I am now, how and why I joined, and where I can see this taking me and my family and the women that join me. So, um, a little bit about the reasons that I jumped into this business. So, I have been in the natural and allied health care world for probably the last 9 years. I studied nutritional medicine and then ended up finishing a complementary medicine degree. And I had been working in allied healthcare clinics in Sydney for 9 years whilst I did my degrees, with the goal someday of potentially practicing or opening a clinic. They were kind of the things that I thought that I would do. Nothing actually. Both of those things never actually felt true to what I wanted to do. I just knew that I loved all things natural health. I've always loved, not always, only in probably my late 20s and 30s, all things natural health. So I like low tox products, everything super natural, everything super natural in my home, on my skin, on my hair. Love being in nature, eating a really balanced, beautifully nourished diet with, really high quality food. So, and things like acupuncture, chiro, massage, all of those things. So I felt like because I loved all of those things, that was the kind of career I was going to go down. And I'd been working for someone for a very long time and kind of always had that feeling safe aspect of working for someone, because I knew that I was going to get my regular pay, and that my job was always secure and safe, which ultimately was keeping me small, I suppose. And by that I mean, like in a nice little safe box where I wasn't going to be vulnerable or potentially hurt or potentially, putting myself out there for rejection and things like that. Things that come with, doing your own business. So anyway, I was doing that for a very long time. I met some beautiful women and friends in that industry, and then moved to Port Macquarie. So that was in Sydney. I moved to Port Macquarie with my family, with my young family 2 years ago, just to kind of escape the hustle and bustle. And the company that I was working for in Sydney agreed that I could work from home. Well, when we moved, so I had been working and practicing and working in clinics for those 8-9 years. And, so things changed when I had my daughter. We wanted different things. We wanted to be able to have a lot more space. We were living in an apartment in Sydney. I wanted to be really close to the beach, and I wanted just everything to be easy. Not having to worry about stuck in traffic, living in a tiny apartment. Things always seemed to be really expensive when we left the house. So moved to Port Macquarie 2 years ago. And although working from home was really beautiful and super flexible, and I was very blessed to be able to do that because I still had my daughter with me at home, so kind of being able to do that around her was amazing. But I found that definitely after I had my daughter, I didn't feel like I was living in my true purpose and I suppose my true values, really, in having to, one, uh, when you work for someone else and it's not truly what you are desiring to do, you have to show face. You have to sort of wear a mask most days, and really kind of do what your employee wants you to do. And I've always been the type of person that has been I like to be quite free. I like to be able to pick and choose what I do with my days, pick and choose what I do, in my life. But, you're having to, earn money. That was what I thought I had to do, work for someone and earn money in that way. And so after I had my daughter, and it just kind of wasn't, because I did have her in care for 2 days, and putting her in care and doing something that wasn't lighting me up and that wasn't aligning with me anymore was really hard. If I was going to be sending my daughter to care and paying for that care, I wanted to be doing something that really, really lit me up and that I felt passionate about, and that I felt was making a difference, and that I was using my gifts and all of those things. And so I had that feeling for a very long time. And because I never really knew what I wanted to do, I knew I really didn't want to practice in clinic. I knew I didn't want to be a nutritionist, and I knew I didn't want to open a clinic. There was just a feeling in my body that it wasn't right what I was doing anymore. And so a beautiful girl that I had worked with in Sydney at this clinic started to share. I'd been following her on Instagram for a very long time, and she started to share. We were also very aligned on a lot of our values, and a lot of our values around parenting, health, not doing the things that everybody else was doing. We were kind of, she's also, questions the norm, questions what everybody should be doing, and all those things. So I really, really I have always been drawn and resonated with her in that way. So when she started sharing about this company, Monat, that she was partnered with, who had beautiful low tox hair care and skincare, and that she was going on this hair healing journey after she'd had a lot of postpartum hair loss and a separation conflict where she'd lost a lot of hair, from a German new medicine perspective, which is another thing I really aligned with her on, all of these different ways of looking at the world. So she started talking about Monat, and I was super intrigued. I bought the products because I had a postpartum hair loss journey as well, and my hair, I just didn't feel I ended up cutting all of my hair off really, really short to about here after a year after I had my daughter, because I just hated it because it was just so thin and wiry. So I bought the products. I had not even gotten them in the mail because I was still following her, and she was talking about the business opportunity, and when she was talking about something just went, yeah, I want to do that. Something in my body, I just knew that it was something that I needed to do. I wanted to do it with her because of all the things that I just said, that I resonated with her about. And so, yeah, I said to her, I haven't got the product yet. I know that I'm going to love them. I had no doubt because I really trust her, and she was saying that the products were amazing. I had no doubt I would love them. But I said, I want to do this business with you. I don't know anything about it. I've never sold before. I don't know anything about hair care or skincare, but I want to do this with you. And yeah, I jumped straight in, didn't let my mind think about it. Because if I had let my mind think about it, I would have talked myself out of it for sure. Because I have never, ever pushed myself to do something like this. And I had never used my social media for a business, to market, to sell, anything like that before. My social media was a personal social media. It was a private social media. And so I think I actually missed my whole postpartum business journey. So anyway, backwards a little bit. The end of last year, just before I saw her start sharing about Monat, I had a really deep drop in. that I knew that I wanted to do postpartum care. I had a really, really tough, probably first, second year postpartum. Super depleted, I went into a really dark headspace. I was really lonely and lacked connection and support. And I just couldn't ask for help. There was plenty of people that could have helped me, but I got myself into a state where I just couldn't ask for help because I felt like I should be doing everything myself. I should be running the house, working, cooking, cleaning, looking after a baby, and loving every minute of it. And I was not. And so I felt super guilty about that. And so after I kind of come out of that whole experience, and I was kind of thinking about, I was in kind of a space where I was like, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing at this job that I've been doing for the last 8 years. I don't actually know what it is I want to do. I knew there was something about being a mother that I wanted to do. I had always had a knowing that after I had my baby, that something would drop in for me around what I wanted to do with this life. And so I had this beautiful dropping in one day that postpartum care was what I wanted to do. I didn't want to dive into births as yet because I've got a young daughter and I want to have more babies, and being away from my family for, days at a time at births is not something that I wanted to do whilst I have young daughter, more kids, like kids that are going to come. So postpartum care was just like something that I just was, oh my gosh, this is my calling. This is what I want to do because I love looking after women in particular. Like, I want to look after the mums so that they can be the best versions and the best mums that they can be. So, I love to cook. I love to come in and take care of women, give them that support and connection that I had been so like really, really wanting and needing. Making them beautiful, nourishing food, with also like weaves in my love for nutrition and health and food and cooking. Anyway, so that all dropped in for me sort of just before the Monat stuff came about. And I was kind of very, very nervous about launching my own business. I'd done all of like some training and set up a website and done all that stuff. But then I was going to be starting my a postpartum Instagram page separately to my personal page. And so that was all kind of happening, but I hadn't really done anything because I was just like, oh, like this is just something that I'm going to do on the side and build it, and just very nervous about the whole thing. And so fast forward, I had that chat with Blue. I jumped in. I said I wanted to do the business, and I said to her, "Look, I've got a personal Instagram. I've started my doula Instagram, but what do you think? Should I combine them?" Da, da, da. And she said, "Look, you need to keep your page that you've already got and incorporate everything because you don't want it. You want people are drawn to who you are more than anything else. So it's not about that you want to have a page that you're selling and it's all about Monat and da da da. So the beauty of doing this business is that you can incorporate everything that you love, everything that is really, really valuable to you, and things that you really want to share and feel like other women would benefit from seeing on your social media. So, and that is been one of the things that like one of the things I've loved the most is being able to share things that are truly valuable to me and that I know can impact people. Has been so fun, and it's such a creative thing. So I've incorporated my postpartum care, my Monat business, and motherhood and cooking all within the one space on my Instagram. So where have I gone with that tangent? So anyway, so I jumped into Monat, not knowing anything about it, and what I have gained from this business in the 4 months that I've been doing it is astronomical. Like, I cannot believe I've been doing this for 4 months. If you would have said to me when I jumped in that I would be jumping on lives every day, my stories every day, talking to people, jumping on Zooms, I just jumped on this before because I knew I wanted to share kind of where I've come, my journey so far, and what this opportunity can give to other women. But like, I didn't have to think about it. I've just gained so much confidence, so much personal growth through this business that I don't think I could have gotten anywhere else. So I launched my postpartum business with my Monat business at the same time. And I definitely would not have launched my postpartum business as soon and with so much conviction, and with all of the tools that I've gained through the Monat business that I've now been able to use for my postpartum care business. So I just wouldn't have been able to get that on my own. So there is so much training, so much support and community of women. The women, you know, when I was working at home alone, I just didn't have a connection that I had been really craving. And even during my postpartum, I didn't have that connection. And now I've got this connection through business, but they're also really, like, they're also my good friends, or the women in my team. And we all align on so many things. So everybody that has joined my mentor, Lou, aligns with all of the things that we both align on in terms of parenting, in terms of, you know, low tox living, in terms of, you know, being in nature and food and all of those things, that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else if I had not jumped into this business. So I know that my body just knew that this opportunity would be so much more than selling shampoo. And it has most definitely been. And so where I see this going, I see my team, I see women joining my team that are like-minded, that want to do life a little bit differently to the norm, want to earn money differently than the 9 to 5, than the working for somebody else. Having the freedom to make money anywhere in the world at any time. So for me, my family, we want to be able to travel and be able to work and earn money from there. So my husband is from New Zealand. We would love to spend, you know, we don't often get to go back because my husband has a full-time job that we have to be in this particular location for. So, you know, my goal is to be able to, for our families, to be able to give us the freedom, the financial freedom, for him to not have to work. I mean, the goal is to really retire him so that he can focus on, you know, the things that he's super passionate about, which he's not getting to do at the moment because he is supporting us financially. And that's been really hard. That's, you know, he's not doing something that he loves. And I really want to change that. And I never, ever thought that that would be possible, that I would be able to earn enough money for our family to give him the opportunity to be able to do the things that he loves. Like, there was no, I just didn't think that that was ever going to be in my, that was never going to be something in my life I could do. But I have seen women in this business do it. I have seen multiple women retire their husbands and have their husbands home with their family, because I want him home for the young years of, well, we have a young family. At the moment, he's missing a lot because he works 5 days a week, 9 to 6. And yeah, so that's the goal, to be able to earn enough money that we can move around, spend some time in New Zealand, spend some time, I've got a sister who lives in Singapore, spend some time there, spend some time living in Bali. Our upline and mentor Jess Etzel, who is the #1 income earner in Australia, has 5 children, and she just got back from Bali. She spent 3 months in Bali. She had her family of 7. She moved her family of 7 over there just because she could. She's been doing this business for 2 years and is almost making $1 million. And that is what is possible with this business. And the reason that I am doing this call is because I need to share this with other women. I need to share what is possible. I need to share the opportunity, because I know that there's women out there that need this opportunity, like I need it, like we need it, like my family needs it. You know, we're on a really tight budget at the moment because we've got a property that we need to pay for. We've got rent also that we need to pay for. We've got, you know, the high cost of living. You know, there's so many things that we have to pay for, so that it really kind of restricts you in life. There's a certain amount of stress that comes with that as well, of having to live paycheck to paycheck, not having enough money to do X, Y, and Z, saying that you're on a budget and you can't do that. I have goals of that, not, you know, us not having to say things like that. We can't do that because we can't afford it. And I want to help other women do the same. My vision is for the women who join me, who are like-minded, who want the same things in life, who have the same values, to be able to experience the personal growth that comes from using your voice, sharing who you are, and being your authentic self. I want women to feel that, and I want women to be in their best versions through that. And I want them to have the financial freedom for their family to be able to do the things that they want to do, travel if they want to with their family, have their husband home if they want to have them home while your kids are young, to be able to travel. Yeah, so that's where I can see this business taking me and the women that come with me, the women that choose to launch their businesses alongside me. I am in the infancy of this business. I have been doing it only for a short 4 months. And so I am building a team. And so it's a super exciting time to join this business. It's a super exciting time for you to launch your own business alongside me. We can do it together. We will grow together. We will learn together, support each other. You know, you don't have to know anything about network marketing. You don't need to know anything about hair care or skincare. Everything is provided for you on the other side. So to jump into this business, you buy one-off product pack. The $890 pack, which is the biggest pack, is most definitely the best value for sure. You get the most amount of product, you get the biggest discount at 60%. And that's the one-off investment that you have to jump into this business. That is it. Like, it's such a low overhead to launch a business. You know, I created a website, and, you know, I had to do a bunch of things for my postpartum business, which cost money. And I didn't get product to be able to use from spending that money. So yeah, it's that's the one-off product pack you buy. There is no monthly minimum orders. That you never have to pay another cent if you don't want to. There's a yearly fee for ongoing of having your business of $70. And yeah, the benefit of the bigger pack is also just so that you can use the most amount of products. So you're able to recommend easily. You're able to tell from experience your customers and the women that join you about the product. And you're able to kind of do wash parties and things like that. So you have enough product to be able to use at wash parties and lend to people. I've done that, lent products out and things like that. So I bought the $500 pack when I first started. I put it on my credit card because I did not have the money. But I just knew that I knew that this business was worth, like, I just knew that there was something in this business. And so, whilst that initial amount of money was very, it was a lot of money for our family at that time, I put it on my credit card because I knew that what I would get from this business would outweigh any initial investment. So, but I wish that I had got the biggest pack, because I ended up going and spending so much more money on more product, which I would have got if I had gotten a bigger pack. So that's what I think I'll leave it with. Yeah, like, I'm just super excited that you have joined this call and are watching. I hope you've gotten something out of this call. And if you have that feeling in your body that this is something that you think you want to do, even if it doesn't make any logical sense, always go with the feeling in your body. Is it a yes or a no? Sit with that feeling and try and let yourself have an answer before your mind gets in the way, because your mind will always try and protect you and give you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it or why you can't do it. But I tell you now, anybody can do this if you're willing to do the self-work, because that's the biggest part of it, the self-work. Pushing past the limits of your own mind and worrying what the outside world will think, when really they don't think anything. But that can be a hard one to push through. But I have done it. I had, the first time I jumped on a live or a story, that I had so much anxiety. I didn't want to do it. Every cell in my body was screaming that I didn't want to do it. But the confidence comes after the action, and the feeling that you get after you've ripped off the band-aid and you've done that thing, the first thing where you put yourself out there, the liberation is insane. And I'm not saying that it's easy for me to now get on and do this, but it is much easier. And kind of like, once you push through that, so much comes from it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Super excited. If you're thinking about joining, like, I just would so love to do this with you. Anyway, sending lots of love.